Good evening, family. How are you? I'm KG, Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. We talk Rockets win over the Pistons. I'm reading some tweets from ESPN Insider Bobby Marks about Miles Turner. Wanted to see with his extension he agreed to with the Pacers today if he could still be traded by the February 9th deadline. And according to Mr. Marks, yes, he can. So we can still talk about Miles Turner possibly still being traded this season. What are your thoughts on the Rockets' gutsy, gritty win, minus 3 starters? And I hope Rocket fans saw what Piston fans have seen a lot this season. Poor rebounding, turnovers, carelessness, lack of effort. Like looking in the mirror. Detroit, let's see, no Kevin Porter Jr., no Jalen Green, no Alperen Sengun. Detroit got out to a big lead and then felt like, hey, we can just cruise. These guys don't have anything. We're better than these guys. Eason, KJ Martin, Usman Garuba hit 2 threes in the fourth. Daisy Nix hit 2 threes in the fourth. Rockets won this game with effort and toughness and rebounding. 16 offensive rebounds, 70 points in the paint. Beat Detroit off the dribble time and time again. Beating folks off the dribble sounds kind of familiar, Rocket fans. Happened to the Rockets a lot this season on the perimeter. Well, Rockets did it to Detroit. Salute to the Rockets. They picked up their 12th win this season. What are your thoughts? And acting head coach John Lucas is now, not technically, 2-0, but the win still count on Stephen Silas's record. Coach Silas was memorial services for his father. But give me your thoughts on it. I'm going to say this, Rogue, how are you doing? We're going to talk Pistons as well in this Let's Talk Houston Rockets live stream for Rocket fans who are new to me, new as a follower, supporter of the Houston Roundball Review. I am a Detroit fan going on 37 years now. I saw colleague James L. Edwards III say this is the worst loss of the season for Detroit. It's up there. I don't know if it's the worst. I think blowing that lead to the Clippers and 14-point lead in the last 3 minutes was the worst. But again, you cannot disrespect the opponents. You cannot disrespect the game. Detroit did that. The Rockets said, thank you very much. We're going to get this win. It's not my fault Jay Nivey didn't box out Deshaun Tate. It's not Rockets' fault Bojan Bogdanovic didn't box out KJ Martin on the missed free throw line. Like I said, thank you kindly. We're going to take this win. Effort, toughness. They competed. They out hustled Detroit. I think the effort that these Rockets show tonight is what Rocket fans would like to see these final, 32 games of the season. So salute to the Rockets. They played hard. They scrapped. Wasn't always smart. Wise citizen, thank you very much for this comment right here, because I was going to say this myself. Let me pull up the stat line. Rafael Stone. Errol Gordon, 24 points, 8 of 17 from the floor, 7 for 7 from the line, 7 assists. He was only 1 for 8 from three-point range, but he sealed the deal down the stretch. He was a calming influence for the Rockets in the win. KJ Martin, 15 and 13. Eason, 16 and 10. Jabari Smith did not shoot well, but he had 12 boards, 10 of them on the defensive end. Deshaun Tate scored 13. Josh Christopher scored 11. Rockets got help, support, input from a lot of players. So the Rockets played inspired basketball. Detroit didn't. It's sad to me in this sense. that what's Detroit's record? Detroit has 13 wins. They were 13-37 coming into this game, and they took a team for granted. You have 13 wins, 50 games into a season, and you're taking the team for granted? That's why your ass lost. Salute to the Rockets. Salute to the Rockets for playing hard, not giving up, and competing. Turnovers still a little high. Let's see, what was the final number? Rockets had 17. Detroit scored 23 points off those turnovers, but 23 is better than 40 by a great deal. So the Rockets won with effort, toughness, hustle. So salute to them. I didn't hear Luke's post-game comments. Justin, like I said, TSU, Prairie View went in double overtime. It's been a long day. Double overtime at H&PE Arena. So it was Luke holding players accountable. Steven Silas holds players accountable. He just does it in a different way. And the players hold themselves accountable as well to some extent. But Luke, after Tari Eason, two really bad passes in transition, Luke got a technical foul running on the court, yelling at Tari Eason, holding folks, that's what Luke does. Luke is old school like that. Luke and I have that in common, old school. And I'm trying to get him to talk next few days for an interview. So I'll try to make that happen. Reach out to the Rockets officially and make that happen. With this time off between the next game on Wednesday against Oklahoma City. I think 4 of the next 5 games are at home. So I'm going to try to get me and Luke together to finally make it happen after all these months. Gohan, how are you? WK, what's up to you? Wise Citizens, Jerry as well. Devrick, thank you. The first comment on for tonight's live stream. Let's talk Houston Rockets. A little bit kind of in between a KG after dark. But just what are your thoughts on it? Do you still want Rockets still entertaining, reportedly, trade proposals for KJ Martin, but they want a first-round pick for KJ Martin, not a second-round pick. Eric Gordon, trade Eric Gordon. I mean, holding out for Eric Gordon first-round pick. James, how you doing? So, well, this comment I don't doubt whatsoever. Rockets had more ball movement for the most part, more ball movement, but also the Rockets beat Detroit off the dribble. They beat Jaden Ivey off the dribble, Sadiq Bey off the dribble, Killian Hayes off the dribble. Sometimes Hamidou Diallo off the dribble. They took turns beating guys off the dribble on the perimeter. The Rockets were down 3. Timeout, Luke. Detroit did not really double team Eric Gordon, but Isaiah Livers went the high side of a KJ Martin screen and left the paint wide open. And KJ rolled to the hoop for 2 and was fouled by Duren, setting up the Rockets' effort for the missed free throw and got 2 offensive rebounds for putback on the second one by KJ to go up 1. So you saw two teams with young players, and young players play like they were young. Jaden Ivey, 6 turnovers, and it's a ridiculous long 2 instead of a 3 or penetrating or passing the ball possession in the fourth quarter, and then rolling the ball while he's lying on the court, back on the court. I don't know. I guess he saw Jalen Duren or whatever and rolled the ball, and Eric Gordon picked it up and scored under his own basket. Jaden Ivey, I mean, you played basketball long enough not to do something like that. I mean, come on now. Really. The trade deadline is February 9th. I still like the. I still maintain a team is not going to give up a first round pick for Eric Gordon. If Rafael is still holding out for that, if he gets it, salute. Brandon R, how are you doing? Thank you for your comment and the reminder. I need to do a better job of this. Smash the like button on the videos on the channel here. Spread the word about the channel. Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. Tell your friends about it. I talk with the fans here, do things a little bit differently than some of my colleagues who have Twitter Spaces and YouTube shows, things like that. But hey, it's all different. It's all good to talk hoops with Rocket fans, folks, knowledgeable fans who are passionate about their team. But Knicks had a good game, made shots. He played with confidence. You know, that's part of it. Play with confidence, and he didn't. He kept it simple. You know, 2 for 6. He made the threes in the fourth quarter. 3 turnovers, but he kept it simple in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter. And Detroit went under the picks, and Dacian said, okay, well, you're going to disrespect me. I'm going to take these threes with confidence and make them. The corner threes that Usman Garuba hit, huge. So the Rockets got some surprise production from lesser-known players. But, hey, they got to win. They got a team win. So that's Gian, do I think Detroit? No. And I think that the first round pick Detroit wants, they wanted with as few conditions as possible for Bogdanovich, for Bogi Bogdanovich. So no, they don't want lottery protections, on and on and on. They want as high a first round pick for Bogdanovich as possible. And he didn't play well today. Okay. He didn't shoot well. He's not really a great rebounder. 2 boards. He was 6 for 17 from the floor, 1 for 6 from 3 open looks. A lot of good shots, good attempts that he missed, and then his frustration. He is the Pistons version of Eric Gordon when it comes to complaining about fouls, begging, bitching, moaning, whatever you want to call about it. We want to say about it. He thinks he's fouling everything he does on offense. So that gets on my nerves. But Terry, how are you? But yeah, Detroit wants as few conditions on a first round pick. So barring that, I think he'll be back at least through the summer, and then see what offers they get in the summer. Because talking about Bogdanovich, because he's a veteran and they don't have any. They don't have any. They didn't. The plan, the hope, the goal was to be healthy this season and have Alec Burks and Bogdanovich provide a veteran influence and get him some buckets. That was the goal and the thought process. And then once Cade had the season-ending surgery, all that went the window. So now, yeah, they need. Detroit had their few bright moments. They struggled early because Alec Burks was hurt and missed the first 2 months of the season, so they had no bench production whatsoever. And then Alec Burks got healthy, and lo and behold, the bench numbers went up. And they had the second, if not the most, bench points in the last 6 weeks. But yeah, it's different perspective for each team. The Rockets, Solo, how you doing? Minnesota giving the ball what they gave up for Rudy, kind of throwing everything out of whack for a lot of teams. But a lot of teams need to reset the trade market. And that's what I think is taking place right now. Bruno got a technical foul for a foul call on him. He and Isaiah Stewart were battling down low. Bruno. You're Bruno Fernando. You ain't nobody to the refs. Refs don't care who you are. You gonna cry? Please. Come on. Seriously, some of these guys, y'all know who you are in the NBA hierarchy. Some of y'all ain't nothing. And they're crying and griping and complaining. And seriously, get back on defense. Play defense. Do what you do best. Crying ain't it. So, but I'm comment on the thing. Jerry 2960 Emmett posted for the folks in case they missed it. Let's see. I think he said it was on Clutch Fans. Where is it? That Eric Gordon wants a buyout because he's trying to get to Phoenix. Well, good for him. Good for him. Eric wants to make it public. It's possible. That'll be after the trade deadline. It'd be a bad look for Rafael and the Rockets. You get something for Eric, and Eric wants out. And instead you settle for a buyout. If that happens, But we've all seen Eric's frustration the last month, 6 weeks, with how things have gone on the court. We've heard Eric's comments in the locker room. We've seen some of Eric's frustrations on Twitter, in social media. So, but yeah, a buyout makes no sense to me. Trade Eric Gordon. Get something for him. Get something for him. He can still get buckets. His 3-point shooting. Heck, I think the 1 3 he made was in the fourth quarter, in between the 2 from Usman and the 2 from Dacian. That was a deep. I think that's it. Let's see. He was 1 for 8 from 3. Yeah. But he can still beat folks off the dribble, finish at the rim fairly well, and make free throws, which is important. So that's what he needs to do more of. Play with aggression. Play smart. Cheers to everyone tuning in to Let's Talk Houston Rockets here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. But yeah, going back to my initial comments, Bobby Marks said that the numbers, the deal that Miles Turner and the Pacers agreed to, Miles Turner is still eligible to be traded by February 9th. Because this was a renegotiation, Indiana was allowed to decrease the salary in the first year of the extension to 40%. Turner is still eligible to be traded by February 9th. So based on that info, would y'all have interest in Miles Turner? Rockets' record without Eric Gordon is not pretty. Numbers, true. Jackson Gallen has pointed that out to me a few times in our discussions. But Rogue Blue, the Rockets' record with Eric Gordon isn't pretty either. It's just without him, it's less pretty. So what do you want? And what is the goal? Is the goal to win more games down the stretch here, the rest of this season, these last 32 games with Eric Gordon griping and moaning and complaining? And if Rockets happen to win, let's see, 32 games, win 12 of them. So they go 12-20 the rest of the way. That's a lot. That's 24 wins? That might be too much. That might move them to 4th spot. So is that what the Rockets want? To win too many games with Eric Gordon? That's what I don't understand from the Rockets' perspective. If you want to keep Eric Gordon and you keep playing Eric Gordon, then you are potentially increasing your chances to win. Well, if you want to win, then you're not increasing your chances to getting Wemby. So which is it? Yeah, Justin, I want to talk about this right now as well. Same info. Kelly Eco wrote about it as well this week. And the John Collins trade, it would eat into the Rockets' salary cap. And then where would you play John Collins? Who would, where would he fit up front? But let me pull up a trade that Kelly put in the trade machine involving John Collins and Eric Gordon. Run it by you. Eric Gordon and KJ Martin go to the Suns. It's a 3-team deal. Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, Landry Shamet, and a lottery protected first round pick in 2025 and a 2027 pick, first round pick from via Brooklyn. All that goes to the Hawks. Eric Gordon and KJ go to the Suns. John Collins and a lottery protected 2026 first round pick from Phoenix goes to the Rockets. Would y'all want to do that? Yeah, that was my thought. I'm like, why citizens? Yeah, no, no, thank you. I don't know. How you doing, Mike? See, most of y'all agree with me. So let me say it one more time. This is the scenario. Let's put it like that. Scenario. To the Hawks. From Phoenix, Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, Landry Shamet, 2 first-round picks from the Rockets, a lottery protected pick in 25, and then one of the picks, the pick from Brooklyn in 27. That's all to the Hawks. Eric Gordon and KJ to the Suns. The Rockets get John Collins and a 2026 lottery protected pick from Phoenix. So you get John Collins and the remaining 4 years, $23 million per year on his deal to the Rockets. No. No. I don't know. No. John Collins is a good player. Where does he fit on this team? No salt, just pepper. Thank you for chiming in. Tony M, thank you for chiming in. Where does he fit? Everybody says no on this one. I haven't said. I'm looking. Let me scroll through the comments again. I don't see a yes yet. No. The no's range from no thank you, politely, from wise citizens, to a no and a hell no. Mike Will says no, and Jerry says hell no. And asleep, are you saying the Rockets need a backup for Tari Jabari, or John Collins would be a backup for Tari Jabari? Because that made no sense. Why the hell would you give all that up to pay a man $25 million to back up Tari Jabari? So, no. And see, this from a Pistons perspective about trading their 2 vets who score for Detroit. If they do that, they get rid of Boyan and Alec Burks. Detroit ain't winning. They have 13 wins now? That's about right. Rogue, let's say they'll win 3 more games. That'd be about it. So if they did that, that would truly indicate Detroit is in it for Wemby. Period. So that's my thought on that. Because at some point, if you want to have some semblance of a pro team and want to have guys who can get buckets, and score some points, you need some veterans. So I'd say, hold off because Detroit's losing with Alec and Boyan right now. So just don't play them a lot. Still play the youngsters, lose, and keep it moving. So yeah. Okay, a sleeper saying you'd rather have Tara and Jabari, better upside. Yeah. I don't see a point. Quentin Davis, another new name. Thank you for chiming in. So no, John Collins doesn't seem to be a fit here for this team. And a move like that, I've seen that, Justin, with the Wemby, the Photoshop. My colleague Willie Gibson sent me that picture. It's just trading for John Collins now. The Rockets would win too many games down the stretch. So then you're going to tell the Rocket fans that your future, you're more, you believe John Collins is more of your future for winning than potentially, lottery odds will change, of course. Wemby and Scoot Henderson? No. No. Who believes that? John Collins, he's a good player. He's not a number one option. He won't make the Rockets that much better long term compared to Wemby and Scoot Henderson. Hell no. Mike, I made that exact comment right there about Detroit and Rockets mirror images. Yeah. Mirror images. No. KDC, how are you doing? But yeah. So it's a trade like that, acquiring someone like John Collins, hell, acquiring someone like Miles. I'll put it like, let me toss in this one. If the Rockets, and I don't know, you could toss Eric Gordon, obviously it would have to be in a deal. But if the Rockets acquired Miles Turner by the deadline, Miles Turner would help them win, assuming they're still playing, would help them win probably just enough games, or you guys might say too many games down the stretch, and mess up their chances at Wemby and Scoot. Would y'all want Miles Turner by the deadline? And then going forward, Miles Turner is a good player. He's a nice player. He's not going to make Rockets that much better, in terms of playoffs and down the line. All that. Nope, don't see it. I don't see it. No Sauce says from the chest, get rid of KPJ. So, Jerry, I know he signed an extension, but according to Bobby Marks, he can still be traded. How the deal was worked out, he can still be traded by the February 9th deadline. So that's what I wanted to get some info on before coming on doing today's show. But yeah, well put, Justin. Simply put right there. Miles Turner is not a generational talent. No. Neither is John Collins. Neither is Christian Wood. Is there talk about placing Dwayne Casey? Oh, yeah. Rogue Blue can chime in as well. Yeah. Detroit fans have been. So, I cover the Rockets, and I'm a Detroit fan, so I read up on Detroit and follow Detroit as well. I've seen comments about fire Dwayne Casey since October, if not earlier. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. No different there. No different. Detroit fans, some fans tonight. Well, we're getting, this was a tank win. Good loss for Detroit. They were, almost ruined it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Same thing. Only trade for a point guard or a small forward, Wise Citizen says, from a Rocket perspective. Yeah. That makes sense to me. This season is a wash. OG Anunoby, he's better than Miles Turner and and more impactful than Miles Turner and John Collins. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But again, Solo, you ask me, you tell me, would you, as a Rocket fan, or hell, all of y'all as Rocket fans, want OG Anunoby on this team if it meant you lost out on Wemby, the possibility of Wemby and Scoot Henderson? OG, he's a hell of a player. And he'd be the best player on the team. But would you still be good with that going forward? No salt. Folks have commented on Luke leading the Rockets twice this year, and the Rockets have won both games. Yes. It is noticeable. It's noticeable how the Rockets were much more aggressive tonight. This is a good comment. And everybody says so far no to OG as well. The frustrating thing as fans is we don't know what direction the Rockets are going in. With Wall's comment and how the style of play changes, it is confusing. That's a fair point. And the issue here, Rogue is correct, and Derek is, top three teams each have a 14% chance to win the lottery. Team number 4 is 12.5%. So it's not a big difference between 3 and 4 for the first pick. The team with the worst overall record can pick no worse than, 5th. And then team with the second worst, 6th, third worst, 7th, and then go on down. But as raw as the Thompson twins are, as young as Brandon Miller is from Alabama, this draft has a lot more questions, talented players, young players, after Wemby and Scoot. And these talented players may shine, but they're just much more questioned. The Twins, in addition to their shooting, is the competition, level of competition they're going against in overtime elite. Brandon Miller, like most young players, got to get stronger. Very good three-point shooter, but you can still bump him a little bit and get him off his shot, and he's still kind of streaky. Jarris Walker, Jerry can tell you, as a Coug alum and follows the Cougs, Jarris Walker is streaky, up and down. But we're talking about young 18, 19-year-old players who have questions. The question, really the main question, you could kind of argue a question about Wemby is the competition in France, but it ain't overtime elite. It's way better than overtime elite. But for Wemby, is just staying healthy. That's his biggest question. Ty, his floater is his best weapon right now. He seemed to shoot better from 3 in the G League than he has shown consistently in the NBA so far. Justin, Jarris Walker's shot. He shoots a lot of off balance shots off one leg. So he's still trying to figure it out. I'll say it like that. Rogue Blue, Jerry's comment is legit. The draft is a crapshoot. The draft is a crapshoot after number 2. I think everybody agrees on the top 2. Okay, Wemby and Scoot Henderson. And then after that, it's who you like and who you believe you can develop with your organization. The hierarchy. This is Rocket fan. Y'all help me out with this one. Give me your thoughts on what you think this is. Answer to this question from Rogue Blue. And I go back to who was it? Was it Solo who asked me earlier if Al P was Rocket's best player this year? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Al P is Rocket's best player, most consistent. Jalen Green clearly is their most explosive player offensively. But Al P can do more things. The offense runs through him. He needs to cut down on his turnovers because he tries to do a lot of flashy passes. Sometimes the simple pass just works just as good. Jacob, Josh Christopher was more confident tonight. Good to see. And this comment from Justin, this is, like I said, it's one of the biggest remaining issues with Victor Wembanyama. He's so tall, the frame, injuries is a concern, but he's been healthy this year for the most part. So, but I mean that's it. My choice for next coach, Quint Davis asked me. I really haven't thought about it. Other than the fact, me and one of my buddies keep going back to Jeff Van Gundy. But let's see, the question was more. My choice would not be Jeff Van Gundy, but who would I think for Rockets next head coach? I don't know. I need to give more thought to that because I think it is inevitable that Stephen Silas will not be coaching the team next year. Most reliable. Justin, you think Eric Gordon has been more reliable? Or the second most reliable Rocket this year? I'd say KG Martin's up there ahead of Eric Gordon. Al P for sure. Eric, not ahead of those two. But Kenny Atkinson, I thought about that as well. I mean, that's a name I tossed out there. Quinn Snyder, I think a lot of colleagues believe Quinn is waiting on Pop in San Antonio. But yeah, I mean, what hell? I was wrong on this so far. The Kings have played like the Kings a lot this year. So salute to them. I think they have a tough stretch of the schedule coming up. So we'll see if they can maintain. But the West is so bunched up. From like 4 to 13? Like 4 or 5 games separating, 9 teams? Something like that. So it's really congested in the West. So anything's possible. So the Kings could have a little dry patch. Look at the Pelicans going through a rough patch right now. Ami Udoka. I think Tim would frown on that as an option, but you never know. So, but I like Kenny Atkinson as a possibility. I don't know. I think Tillman will not. He'll go outside of the organization for the next coach and not promote anyone on the current staff to coach the Rockets, to be the head coach for the Rockets next season and going forward. But once again, Rockets out-hustled out executed, out toughed the Detroit Pistons 117-114. Rockets won without Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, and KPJ. Rockets scored a ridiculous 70 points in the paint, 35 for 59 shots in the paint. Rockets took 92 field goals. 59 came in the paint. He were 8 for 27 from 3, 16 offensive rebounds, including the 2 O boards on the missed free throw in the final seconds. The second was a putback to put the Rockets up 1. 16 offensive rebounds. Rockets outscored Detroit 21-4 in second chance points in a 3-point win. 21-4 in second chance points. Effort, competed, scrapped, hustled. Steve Nash held to the no. Josh Christopher. His handles and his decision making still have to improve. It's good to see him attack. He made some tough shots at the rim. Sure. But he had 2 turnovers. Jason Tate had some loose moments as well with the ball, 3 turnovers. He got it done in the paint with his left hook, sweeping the hook. He took advantage of Jaden Ivey's crap defense. Frank Vogel, D Titus, that's the name. How you doing, man? Good to hear from you. Hope y'all saw Jaden Ivey's defense is trash too as a rookie. It's really bad. His one-on-one defense is really, really bad. For Rocket fans talk about Jalen Green's defense. Youngsters just don't know what they're doing on defense. Just don't. And both guys are quick as lightning. But neither of them have a clue what they're doing defensively. No idea how to defend on the perimeter, how to maximize their quickness to their advantage defensively. Bad. Awful. Once again, everybody, cheers. Talking Rockets here, talking some Pistons, talking some draft. And yes, Jaden Ivey's shot selection is bad. Jaden Ivey's also out of control. So, Rocket fans, it's just not Jalen Green. It's just not KPJ who Ivey is not a 2-point guard. Detroit is trying to make him a 2-point guard. We see the growing pains with him. Usman Garuba, Garrett Matthews. Usman tonight showed his potential. Perimeter defense, he did a good job on Alec Burks. I thought Us did deflect the ball off Alec Burks. Referees would say there's not enough to overturn it or whatever. But perimeter defense was solid by Usman. His hands are still hands of stone around the bucket. But the 2 threes he made in the corner shows his potential. So good game from him. Garrett Matthews, he's a pest. He gets under opponent's skin. He can make a 3 on occasion. He can space the floor, but he should not be in the Rockets' long-term picture when the Rockets are good again. Good/great in the future. He's here right now taking up space. Jabari is still having shooting issues. Agreed. He crashed the boards. He played good defense down the stretch. Defending another big. He did a good job defending Alec Burks on a switch. So that was good to see as well. You see glimpses. I'm not concerned yet with Jabari's shot. Terry, it's it's inconsistent right now. He was 2 for 12. He only took 3 threes. So he took 9 twos. The form on his shot is inconsistent. So sometimes he shoots flat. Sometimes he shoots off balance. Sometimes he leans one way, left, right, back on his shot. So he's not even missing. When he misses, he's not even missing the same way. So when you struggle and miss your shot so many different ways, that means you really got to get back in the gym and work on your form and your foundation and your fundamentals. Because you're going to miss shots. But if you miss shots, that's the same way. If you miss them, if you come down square, your base is solid, you're square to the hoop and all these things, just miss. But if you mean this way, meaning that way, meaning this way, line drives, off balance, got to get back in the gym and work on that. So that's, agreed. Jabari is all over the place with this shot. I like the fact that he went down on the block. I think against Jaden Ivey, had a little mouse in the house. So, but hey, I think the Rockets need to do that a few more times when he had an advantage on a shorter defender. Oh, Garrison has a football player mentality. So he's pissed. He's a good teammate, but opponents hate him. Can't stand him. Garrison's physical. He will literally push through picks, crash through picks, high screens. Sometimes he doesn't try to get over the screen, slide over it. He tries to bang the guy off it. So Pat Bear brought a camera to one ref. Really? That sounds like Pat. That really does sound like Pat. Something he would do. But Garrison, he's just, he's just one of those dudes that gets under the opponent's skin. And a lot of times he gets the first punch in, the first shove in, and the opposition retaliates, and the ref sees the second one. Good for Garrison. He's smart enough to get that first one in and get the other guys to get off their game and retaliate. Hey, that's smart. The opponent's got to know that. Hamidou got to know that. Hamidou's emotional. He's just he plays sometimes it's out of pocket. But if that's the case, Terry, Jabari, like I said, his shot is just up and down and too inconsistent. So with him struggling, I wouldn't mind him jacking up shots left and right, clang, clang, clang. Garrison he's finding a way to hang around. And salute him for that. But long term, the Rockets, when they're competing for home court advantage in the playoffs, Garrison won't be on this team. And if he is, he'll be deep on the bench. The Rockets need old school like Lucas. Going forward, I think a little old school is not a bad thing. They need accountability. They need how can I phrase this? Good point, Justin. Good point. The Rockets' effort. A coach should not have to coach effort. A coach can demand effort. Then it's up to that coach to play guys who give the effort. And if there are players who are not giving that effort, the maximum effort, then those guys shouldn't play. I'm trying to keep it simple like that. I don't know if that's old school or not. Effort. Give me what you got. Game in, game out. Give me what you got. Give me your maximum effort for tonight. If you ain't got it tonight, I'm going to play somebody who does. That's me. we can all say that's not Stephen Silas. But I mean, I chime in. Maybe Rafael telling Stephen Silas to do certain things with a rotation. I mean, Luke played 11 guys in the first half because some guys were not giving effort. Some guys were wild and out of control. Rockets were down 16-4, starting 5. Luke said, "Y'all have a seat." So and UH coach Kelvin Sampson, he can do this. And in college, it's easier to sit guys down because of college kids. I mean, at worst, those kids will transfer because they don't want to hear what the coach has to say and they want to be coddled. NBA guys tell a coach, "I make more money than you." So that is an issue right there. That's why I say it's tougher in the pros to demand effort from pros. You're a pro. A coach should not have to ask, request, beg for you to give maximum effort. Mike, you said it, I didn't. So that's because we've seen Pop do it, and there are a handful of other coaches, not a lot though, NBA coaches, when 1, 2, 3, or 4, all 5 guys on the floor just aren't giving effort. First 5 minutes of the game, we've seen Pop do, y'all sub, go sit down. Y'all go sit down. Y'all are not giving me what I need tonight. Go sit. Y'all need to just rethink about what you're doing today. So, how many coaches do that in today's NBA? Probably not as many as I think need to do it in today's NBA. So in that sense, I'm old school. So I'm a dying breed. I mean, I say it, I accept it, but that's how I am. You got to give effort. I don't care if you miss shots. I care if you don't get a rebound. It's right there in your hands. I care if you don't get over a screen. I care if you don't talk on defense. I care if you don't get back on defense and stand rather than stand and cry to a ref. I care about all those things. Those things are important to me. So Daisy Nix played well today. For him. Daisy Nix is not a long-term answer here. This version of Daisy Nix, no, come on, he's not. No. He's in the Garrison Matthews grouping. Neither one of those guys, I don't believe either one of them will be with this team when the Rockets are winning, making playoff runs. No. Nope. Thank you for your time here. But we are continuing to upgrade our talent level above you. Thank you. Oh, I'll put it up. Rockets have talent. And this second part of that is now we're past the halfway point of the season. Rockets have talent. The Rockets don't always play smart. The Rockets, I think individually, the players have gotten better. Stephen Silas could have coached them differently in the 48 games he's coached this season. You can blame Stephen Silas for a lot of this, but not all of it. You know, when Steven Silas was hot, livid this week about the lack of effort and performance earlier this week. Again, let's see the Wizards game. When I think Steven Silas had the very brief post game. Rockets at that point had 11 wins. Had a big lead on the Wizards. Wizards had won, 3 in a row? Rockets had a big lead. The 11-win Rockets took a team for granted. You have 11 wins. And you stop doing the things that got you the big lead. But you have 11 wins. So who are you to take anybody for granted with your 11 wins, 50 games into a season? Things like that. That should not happen. But it happens a lot. It happens often. I say a lot, often in the NBA. Happened against the Rockets, from the Rockets. Happened in Detroit today. Bad teams are bad for a reason. And yet they think that some of these guys think they're better than they are. You keep thinking that, you'll keep being bad. Lineups, some of the personnel issues, point guard. I think Ty, y'all know, I think Ty's been playing point guard way more with the Rockets than the Vipers. I believe in Ty way more than I believe in Daisha Nix. Garrison Matthews is a better three-point shooter, clearly, than Josh Christopher. Different roles. Josh Christopher needs to do a better job limiting his turnovers. I think Eric Gordon should be coming off the bench. I've thought that for a while. For as long as he's here, I think he should still be coming off the bench. So some of that is coaching. Some of that is Rafael Stone. Getting back to it, Rafael trade Eric Gordon. You got, what is it now? 12 days to the deadline. Passes February 9th. Alex Smith, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining the show. And a reminder, I'm poor. I need to do a better job of doing it. Hit the like button. Smash the like button, as some folks say. Tell your friends about the show, about Let's Talk Houston Rockets. We had a Let's Rage Cougs post-game show earlier today. Let me think off the top of my head. Let's see. UH men's team came from behind and won. Rockets won. Prairie View, TSU went double overtime. Prairie View won. And then HCU lost, I think, by a point. So a little bit of everything from the local men's teams today. Sandoval, I touched on, how are you, Sandoval? I touched on Jabari's shooting. He's struggling because he's not shooting the same way. It's not a concern to me because he's only 50 games into his career. He's got to get back in the gym, look at his form, and learn what the best shot form for him and stick with it. The fundamentals of him, he needs to just stick with it. Should everyone get fired? Talking about Rafael as well? Rafael won't get fired. No, but I think there will be a new coaching staff. Yes. Josh Christopher does have tunnel vision. Yes, for sure. Let's see. Josh Christopher, in 16 minutes, he took 8 shots, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. 2 for 4 from the line, 1 for 3 from 3. So, and this is the issue. You can say this as well. This is fair. It's legit. Jabbar doesn't get the ball when he's ready to shoot, when he's open to shoot. So sometimes he tries to make up for it. That's part of it as well. I think Jay-Sean most likely would be. I think Jay-Sean could still be a glue guy when the Rockets are good again. Yes. Come off the bench. Good, solid role player. But it still would behoove the Rockets to upgrade talent-wise over him too. Oh, Mike, I don't think Rafael's getting fired, so I haven't even thought about a potential replacement for GM. So yeah, I don't think that. I'd have to give that some thought. So no, I'm not sure who that would be. And that's wow. That's in the future. Yeah, that's in the future. I don't know about this, Sandoval. I don't know about this one. Well, if the Rockets get Scoot Henderson, for sure, that's not going to be. KPJ will not be starting at the point. Yeah. Jay-Sean is the team leader on this team. He's much more vocal than Eric Gordon. But Jay-Sean has some moments. Jay-Sean has moments where he cries to the refs too much for my taste too. But again, for those who have joined tonight's edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets in the last few minutes, I want to rehash this trade scenario, courtesy of my man Kelly Eco. Rockets send Eric Gordon. It's a 3-team deal. Eric Gordon and KJ to Phoenix. The Hawks get Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, and Landry Shamet from Phoenix, plus 2 first-round picks from the Rockets. First one is in 25, lottery protected, and then in 27 from Brooklyn. The Rockets get John Collins and a 26 lottery protected pick from Phoenix. So John Collins from the Hawks, a 2026 first round pick from Phoenix. The pick has lottery protections. Eric Gordon, KJ Martin to Phoenix. Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, Landry Shamet to the Hawks from Phoenix. And the 2 Rockets first round picks also to the Hawks. 25 and 27. In 25, the pick is lottery protected. 27 is pick from Brooklyn. No one said yes to that trade proposal. No one so far. If you say yes, tell me why. Give me your thoughts. Give me your reasons why. If Rockets get Scoot Henderson, KPJ comes off the bench or is traded somewhere else. Yeah. It makes sense to me. So, again, give me thoughts on that. Does anybody like the idea? Quint, that was discussed. It was a trade scenario. Like I said, it's a fake trade, as Eco wrote. And also, according to NBA Insider, ESPN's NBA Insider Bobby Marks, even though Miles Turner signed a contract extension / renegotiation today, agreed to, Miles Turner is still eligible to be traded by or on the February 9th trade deadline next month. So John Collins, would you as a Rocket fan want John Collins? Would you as a Rocket fan want Miles Turner? Or no to both and just trade Eric Gordon and get whatever you can for Eric Gordon? So let me know what you think about that as we wind it down in these final few minutes of Let's Talk Houston Rockets here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Justin says don't need a splashy trade. Like I said, no one so far has said yes to either one of these. No one said yes to John Collins, Miles Turner, or even OG Anunoby. Just toe the line, wait for the summer, wait for, what is it, May 21st? No, what is it? What Tuesday is it? The day of the lottery. Would it be May? Probably May 16th. May 16th or May 23rd, the date of the 2023 NBA lottery. Oh, wow, interesting. Former right style Trey Murphy III has been invited to the NBA dunk contest. Huh. Trey Murphy III is a heck of a three-point shooter. When would he have up his sleeve for dunks? Interesting. Kind of strange. Well, he agreed to that and not three-point shooting. But anyway, okay. Just random. So, no yes to either one of those guys joining the Rockets via trade, Miles Turner, OG, or John Collins. I think we all agree the Rockets should trade Eric Gordon. Eric scored 24 points tonight. Only 1 for 8 from 3, 7 for 9 from 2, 7 for 7 from the free throw line, 7 assists, 2 steals. He did have 4 of the Rockets' 17 team turnovers. I think Eric Gordon has lost his value to get a first-round pick in return, but second-round picks, I think he still has. Stone, see, Justin put it up here for everybody. Stone is a GM that wants to be known as a player's GM. Do I think he would have the guts to trade KPJ after he said the Rockets saved his life? For the right trade, yes, and he should. He should think that way. Yeah. It's his job. You know, KPJ is a human being, and I was there when he made those comments. That the organization did save his life, but if there's a deal that makes sense and makes the Rockets better, Rafael needs to consider it, make it, and get it done. Yeah, that's the business side of it. Cold, but that's reality. Yeah. So, all right, Rockets are off until. Let's get your quick thoughts on Wednesday. Ty, let's see. He didn't play. Let's see, what did he do? 3 minutes. He didn't play in the second half, I believe. Yeah, didn't play in the second half. But just what are you guys' thoughts on the Rockets' upcoming game on, what is that, February 1st against OKC? The first of 4 out of 5 at home. Wednesday versus OKC. Friday versus Toronto at home. And then Saturday in OKC. And then back-to-back home games against the Kings on the 6th and the 8th. So Wednesday, will the Rockets beat OKC at home? Rockets OKC, February 1st, 7 p.m. tip-off inside Toyota Center. What are your thoughts on that real quick? Or will it be too much SGA, too much Josh Giddey and crew as OKC continues their surprising success this season? Cheers. got L's from Justin and James. Yeah, most likely. Does it change your opinion, Justin or James, if Luke's coaching the team? I'm being petty. Just putting it out there. Does that change your prediction? If Luke, for whatever reason, Steven Silas is sick, and can't coach the game because he's ill, does that change your prediction? And then let me know, and we'll wrap it up here on this latest edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. A little bit of a KG After Dark here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Tell your friends about it, about the show, about these really a mix of post-game shows, Rocket fan discussion, a little bit of everything here on Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Let me see, Rocket schedule coming up. Friday, Saturday, home game at OKC. So we'll probably do another Let's Talk Houston Rockets next Saturday after the game against OKC. And then after that, I'll be on the road for the weekend of the big game, going to some college games. So, oh, wow. Quint, that's a loaded question about what's wrong with the Rockets owner. And I mean, what's your opinion? I think the perception around the NBA or the Rockets organization for years has not been great, but that was before Tillman became owner, even. So, John Wall said the organization is trash. I think that comes from the top, the perception of the top, ownership on down. So we'll see how that all plays out, but that's an open topic for another discussion. No Salt says with Lucas a W if Luke coaches the game. So, and Justin, let me ask you as we wrap it up here. What direction, in your opinion, what direction should the team be? What would it take for you to know the direction the Rockets are headed? And I think that's the way I'll ask it. What would it take for you and Rocket fans to know what direction the Rockets are headed? A trade with Eric Gordon, firing Steven Silas, both those things. KPJ moving to the bench whenever he gets back from injury. What needs to happen for you to know the direction the Rockets are headed? And I'll say this. In the summer and in training camp, the Rockets players specifically mentioned the word culture a lot. Even Rafael Stone said it a few times. Culture, culture, culture. Steven Silas said culture a few times. If the Rockets played with hustle and effort like they did tonight, the rest of the season, I think that would be a very good indication of the culture for the Rockets. But they just have not done that. They have not played with toughness and hustle and effort and grit and grind, game in, game out. They compete sometimes. They play to the level of competition too many times. I saw Quentin comment about both. So we'll see. I think Steven Silas is just a stopgap. Yeah. He's not the long-term answer. Like I said, I'll be shocked if he's the long-term answer here. I think he's gone here after this season. Terry says he thinks Steven will be here through the season. We shall see. Time will tell. Eric Gordon should not be here after February 9th, in my opinion. I've said it, I'm going to stick with it. He should not be here. So Rafael needs to get assets for Eric Gordon. That's my opinion. James make a good point about the season. But my thing with that, James, a lot of folks thought that the 10 road games out of the first 13 were going to be tough, would be difficult. That should not have had a negative impact on playing with hustle and effort and toughness from that point to now. But it did. And I think that's a problem. That's been a problem from that tough start on the road. You got to have an identity. You got to have an identity because that's a great building block for success. If you know we, as an organization, will do A, B, and C every game positively. Because too often this season, one of the things we know the Rockets will do is turn over the ball, give up a lot of points in transition, and give up points off turnovers. So that'll be it. Going to wrap it up here. Thank you, as always, to James, Justin, Terry, Tony, Deverick, Mike, Will, Quint, No Salt, Wise Citizens, Ari, Solo, D'Lo, Sandoval, everybody who chimes in and participates in the discussion here on Let's Talk Houston Rockets. I always appreciate you taking time to chop it up with me. Tell your friends about it, how we do things here, how I do things here on Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Like I said, I'm going to work on trying to get Luke for my interview with him in the next few days, get that done. I'm working on, might get another one, Rockets related as well in these next few days also. So thank you very much. Until next Saturday after the Rockets game in OKC. Everybody take care. See you, was that February 4th? So in conclusion, cheers.